Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I am doing the if I could only keep one palette from every brand that I own multiple palettes from, which one would I keep? I did a couple videos ago if I had to hypothetically declutter one palette from every brand, what would it be video. I'll leave that linked in the cards if you haven't seen it. But today is the opposite, not if I had to declutter one, which one would I get rid of, but if I could only keep one, meaning I had to get rid of all of the rest of them, which one would I keep? So if that sounds interesting to you, keep on watching. And before we get too far in the video, don't forget to subscribe. I'm doing a pretty big, at least in my mind, pretty big giveaway in the next 4-ish subscribers when I hit 350. I say big-ish because I think it's big for a small channel, I'll put it that way. There's going to be a lot of amazing indie brands and makeup that you can win, so make sure you subscribe, and let's get into the video. Alright, so I basically went through, and when I was putting away palettes from the last video of, you know, brands that I own multiple palettes of, and I had to pick one to get rid of, I did the same brands, but which one would I keep? So if I only own one palette from the brand, they're not in this video. This is just brands that I own multiple palettes from. So these are not necessarily going to be in the same order or any specific order, but let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so first one was Lethal Cosmetics, and if I had to keep one, it would actually be my custom palette that I made with them. You can go on and pick singles, and I picked these like grungy, murky tones. I've only played this like 2 times since I got it. I don't know what's wrong with me because it's been gorgeous both times I used it. Especially like these greens are really nice and their purples are really nice. And I do love a deep navy matte I really love a navy shadow wing. If you haven't tried it, I would really encourage you to. I feel like it's still neutral enough, but it gives you a little more something than just like a black or brown shadow wing. Navy blue, I'm telling you, try it out. You will thank me later. And this metallic like emerald green, ooh, it's just so yummy. And of course I love it because I curated this, you know, I made this myself. So if I could only keep one from Lethal, this would be the one I would keep. If I could only keep one from Urban Decay, it would be the Stone Vibes palette. Partially because I really do enjoy the shimmer quality on this. None of them are pressed glitters. And 2, just because, oh, the packaging, oh, look, shiny objects. It's so good. This is probably their best packaging, I think, that the brand has done. At least of the palettes that I own and can think of off the top of my head. This also, like, just sentimentally, this was like my biggest video, like my most viewed whatever, that I got more attention for this video than a lot of others, just because I was able to be sent this before it was released, and that just proved to me how much easier it is to grow your channel and get views on your channel when you do get, you know, PR things sent to you before the release date. It's so hard when you don't get that stuff and you're like kind of late to the game, so to speak, all the time because you don't get it in advance. So yeah, just some memories and things learned with this palette, but I really do like that one. All right, from Unearthly Cosmetics, this packaging still says Alien Cosmetics, and I don't think that they have this packaging anymore because I think they've transitioned to more square pans, and I'm so glad I have this one because I love this packaging. Nikki Raven turned me on to this brand and to this palette, and it is my favorite from Unearthly Cosmetics. It's so grungy, but like this is the most unexpected shade. Like you can see there, I think it looks a little more like blue-green, but when you look in the pan, it looks reddish. Let me see if I can get the shift there. Yeah, I think there's the other more like reddish color, and then it's more like green-blue. That's the first like pressed flaky-ish kind of shadow I had ever used from any brand, and this just made me go down a rabbit hole with my collection because I went, there's this quality out in the makeup community, like where have I been? You know, I was shopping drugstore, and then if I was getting anything more like high-end or more expensive, it was stuff like Too Faced and Urban Decay that like they just don't do this. They don't do this like any brands do. So this really opened my eyes. This shade is the only shade that I don't like in this palette. It's like really hard pressed and not great in my opinion, but the rest of them are so good that, oh, I just love it. And if I do have videos, like I know I have a video with this and a video with this, for these palettes. I will link as many in the cards as I can, and then if I run out of room, I will leave links in the description in case you do want to check out any of these palettes, because I think most of them are still available. Speaking of Too Faced, this is my favorite from them, the Pumpkin Spice. I held off on this at first because, you know, they're kind of hit or miss. But then I saw Teresa is Dead's review and I went ahead and got it when it was half off. The scent. I'm a fan of scented eyeshadow. Let me know in the comments, are you a fan of scented eyeshadow? Because I love it. I love it. Now, obviously, if I don't like the scent, I'm not going to like it, but I really enjoy when they're scented. If I like the scent, here's the color story. I don't know what it is about this one. The mattes are just gorgeous. The shimmers are okay too. They definitely look better if you apply them with the finger, but these two purples are really, really metallic and reflective. And there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 like shimmers in the whole palette, and then 2 that are more like satiny, I would say. And the rest are mattes. But it's like warm tone oranges and browns, but also purple and pink. I don't know. I just really like this one. I did not get their newest one. Color Story kind of bored me, but I'm still really liking this one. I think I wore it for New Year's Eve 2 years ago. Really great palette. Okay, let's go to the drugstore for a minute. From Makeup Revolution. Okay, now this palette's not like blow me away, great, amazing, but it is my favorite out of all of them that I own. And this is their collab that they did with Roxsaurus, the Roxy palette. Sorry if it's so reflective and blinding you. This is the Ride or Die palette. I got this when I was trying to play with color a little bit more, and I was just more like going into berry tones or maybe some golds and things. There's even a pop of a little green down here. Now I consider this palette fairly neutral, but it's okay quality. Again, same as the last one I mentioned, the Too Faced ones. The shimmers, you definitely have to go in with your finger to get any sort of opacity. They just don't pick up on a brush well, which is not my preferred method of application, but it'll work. I haven't used this one in a long time. I don't know if they sell this one anymore, but like if I could only keep one, like even this one I'd be okay without with. Like honestly, I could get rid of all my Makeup Revolution and be just fine, but if I had to narrow it down to one, that's the one I would keep. All right, from Game Beauty. Ooh, okay. Honestly, their first one was the one for me, guys. I still haven't found a color story I like better than their first one. Maybe it's because I'm a sucker for green and purple, maybe, but I love this one. Now, I know this one does have a pressed glitter, which a lot of people aren't a fan of, but I honestly like sometimes to put a little pressed glitter like on the cheeks and wear it that way. You know, I know it's not eye safe, so I try to at least, you know, utilize it somehow that's going to be safe. But here's the color story, and this is one of the first brands that I saw do this like kind of marbled effect, like in this purple and this orange shade. That looks so cool in the pan to me. And if you know me, you know I'm a gamer girl at heart. Like I had to collect them from this brand, and this color story's just, it's really, really amazing. Check out this brand if you haven't. They're just wonderful. Like where's my phone? My screensaver on my phone is like from Game Beauty. They've made different like palette backgrounds for your phone, and I've got it on my phone. That's how much I love the brand, if that tells you anything. Next up, BH Cosmetics. Now, it's a toss-up. I almost picked the pistachio palette, but this one went out just by a little bit. That was a really close second, and this is the Blueberry Muffin palette. Oh, I've had so much fun with this one. It's not super blue either. I've mentioned this before. Like, it's got some neutrals, it's got burgundy, it's got gray. The shimmers are the next level shimmers. They're so sparkly and reflective. And yeah, the blues are like, they have cool enough undertones that I don't feel like they're so in your face unwearable. They're not like bright old lady blue eyeshadows, what I always think of and what I'm afraid to look like, and this is not that. This is amazing. Who knows what's going to happen with BH Cosmetics now that Makeup Revolution has purchased them. So if you haven't gotten this formula yet, hopefully they just keep the formula the same and keep you know, making things in their current formula, this one. But if not, you might want to grab it now before anything potentially goes south. All right, from Colourpop. This is kind of a newer one, but I mean, in Colourpop, new is like last week because they come out with so much stuff. But I love this palette, you guys! The Mandalorian palette. Ah, this is so nice for every day. It's cool toned. I love that little like orangey mustardy shade in the top. And I actually really like this Tatooine glimmer. I don't usually go for like a dark brown shimmer, but something about this palette mixed with like that gray in the crease, and then I usually deepen it up with this out here on the outer corner. I love this palette, and I love the Mandalorian, so it's just a win on both my face and in my heart. All right, from Ulta Beauty, I've got a little one that they gave for free when you were buying like a little kit. Like if you bought like 20 bucks worth of their brand makeup, you got some free stuff. But I really like this one. I don't even know if it has a name on it. Here's what the packaging looks like. They probably don't even make it anymore, but this is the color story. It is, again, pretty cool tone, but this highlighter, this frosted one, so good. Like, surprisingly good. And the blush is really nice too. So I love this one. This is just nice for a quick little, like, 1-2 out the door for work. But this is like really nice quality too. I really enjoy this. I think Ulta does a really nice job, especially with their matte shadows. So don't shy away. I know sometimes people are like, with Ulta brand or Sephora brand, but for Ulta, they have some pretty nice stuff. From Oprah, if I could only keep one, okay, it'd be this guy right here. So this is the collab they did with Leora. They just did a second round with her, but I just loved this little, it reminded me of fall so much. That you got a highlighter in there. This one also works really well as blush. Depending on your skin tone, you might be able to use that for bronzer. I can't, but you might be able to. And this metallic, again, I don't know, I'm having a moment with like deeper emerald metallic greens right now. So this one, Yum, which is one of the shade names of her newest collab with them. But I would keep this one. This is called the Leora Signature Palette. You can't get this one anymore, but you could shop and get her new collab with them if you're interested in that. From Wet n Wild, I would keep the Bretman Rock palette. Who forgot about this? Did you forget this was even a thing, that Bretman Rock collabed with Wet n Wild? Yeah, it's been a while, and this is actually maybe a surprise for me because it's kind of bright, right? And I think when I was saying like ones I would declutter, a lot of them was because it was bright, but this one I feel like has enough options, right? There's brights, but there's also your black and brown, and they've got some nice like transitional shades I feel like in here, and they've got like, you know, things that you can blend out jewel tones with. So here's what it looks like if you forgot that this was even a palette or that even happened. And we're definitely seeing a theme here, right? Peacock energy, this deep emerald metallic green. I don't know what that's about. I didn't really realize that I was having that trend until this moment, but here we are. And that's the one I would keep. Wet n Wild does some pretty good shadows too every once in a while. All right, from Laura Lee Los Angeles, I would keep her original Nudie Patootie. This is not the, she has one called Nudie 2, but this original Nudie Patootie, really nice. It is quite neutral, but I think it's versatile because you can go warm or you can go cool toned. And she has some of these really reflective pressed shadows as well. And Stark, oh, that's such a beautiful like matte inner corner moment. So nice. This is one of my favorites by her still. Well, not one of, this is still my #1 favorite by her. You could wear that every day, anywhere, and look so glam. It's really, really nice quality. All right, from Sugarpill. One of these capsules I said was my least favorite, but that's because all the ones I have are capsules, and it really just comes down to color story. This one is the pink capsule. And here's the color story. I love the packaging on these, by the way. They're so cute. I would not probably use this little mirror in here. Like, it's really good quality. I don't know. It's just kind of like a weird situation to me. Like the fact that it's a half mirror, I think is what gets me. If it was a full mirror that I could do this, that'd be great. But I get they did that because of the like whole pill theme. But I really like the like pastel vibes going on this one. This one's a blush, and even though it has blues, again, I feel like it has enough to pair with it. I love this like mustardy, well, not mustardy, more like grungy olivey. I don't know how to describe it, but this green I really like, and this little like burgundy purpley one. Ooh, I just really like the color story of this one, and I've used this one as blush too, even though it's super tiny and that's meant to be the blush. I like that one too because I do like more of like a mauve blush, so that one's my favorite out of all the sugar pill ones just because of the color story. The formula I find is really consistent throughout all of those sugar pill palettes and capsules though. Okay, from ABH, the one I would keep, this might be a surprise, it's the Carly Bible palette. This is really, I'm gonna say this is really nice about all of these guys. This is basically like a favorites video from all of my brands that I own, right? So obviously they're all really nice, or they wouldn't be my number one that I would keep. This little purple one is kind of like duochromy. Ooh, I love that one so much. And OA is really nice too, but here's the color story. And again, you can go neutral, but it's got a couple like twists and options to go a little more dramatic. This is definitely by far my favorite ABH palette that I own, and I have this one, Riviera. I haven't tried Subculture yet since I found it and got it, and the Alyssa Edwards. Okay, from Melt, this probably won't surprise anybody. So I don't have the Muerte. I'm one of the people that's like, I wish I had the Muerte, but I do have the Vita, and this one is still pretty bright too, but it's just so nice. Like, this makes me want to have a Fiesta. Like, I really want to do a look with the green and the red. I know that might look kind of Christmassy, but I don't know. Or maybe like the orange and the green or something. I haven't played with this one yet, but it's my favorite because it's the color story, right? Like, I have this one, the Blueprint, and the Millennial Pinks, and the 420 palettes. I think this one's my favorite. This is the one I would keep. And it's just stunning. Like, the shimmers even look great in the pan. Now, this one's not like a deep emerald green. This is more of like a true green or like a grass green shimmer. But there's a green shimmer in that one too. But the packaging, it's the best out of all of them for sure too. So I would keep that Vita palette from Melt if I could only keep one. All right, what next? Ooh, let's do Lunar Beauty. Okay, this should surprise absolutely no one whatsoever. Like, if you followed me for any amount of time, you probably know this one, the OG Moonspell. They just don't make them like this anymore, you know, the packaging. Strawberry Dream, I would say, is my number 2 runner-up, but oh, I just love this. I know it's discontinued, it's not coming back, but it's my favorite, and he has yet to put out anything that I love as much as this one. I love the dark packaging, and I love the color story, the grungy color story, and nothing he's come out has topped that one in my heart for me, so I'd keep that one. From Pure, I would keep my collab with Raw Beauty Christie. I debated. They did a collab with Barbie that I love too. Oh, that one smells so good. The scent is amazing. And when I have like a special event, I use that Barbie palette a lot. But at the end of the day, I feel like this one's more versatile. I would get more out of it. If you haven't seen it, there is like the neutral side of the palette. It's double-sided, and then there is the colorful side. I don't use the colorful side as much, but I have. Last time I did it, I tried to do like a sunrise type look, and I ended up looking like a flaming hot Cheeto, but that is neither here nor there. The quality is really nice though. I know a lot of people like said negative things about this one. I have no problems with it. I really liked it. Also discontinued, sadly. All right, we're getting down to the last few, y'all. All right, sorry if things are a little shifted. My camera just fell. I literally feel like I have the worst setup right now. I want to change it so badly, but I just don't have like the time right now. So only, what, 8 weeks I think left of school till it's out. So maybe I'll be able to deal with it then, but probably not, because then I'm leaving the country like 3 days after school it's out. So bear with me here. From Morphe, here's what I would keep. Now notice which one this is. This is the volume 2. I actually like this, and I've said it before. I like this one better than the volume 1. I do. I feel like the pops of color in there are lackluster. Like, they don't look good on my eyes. This looks great. I've done like all of these reds before. They are really nice. Also the like white and the I'm in it up here are really good. I don't think I've played in the purples really. I've done more like either neutral or cranberry looks with this one, so I definitely need to get more use out of it than I have, but this one is the one out of all of them that is the best quality in my opinion. All right, from Glam Light, if I could only keep one palette, it'd be the Michaela collab. Like, lots of collabs in here, right? I don't know if that's just because I love the creators so much, or if I just feel like the creators, like this one, like just did an amazing job. Like, what other palette has Glamlight done? I mean, I know they've done sprinkles, but like the glitter, I love shiny objects. What can I say? And I've used this one quite a bit. Like, I'm getting some dents in the shimmers at the top here. And whenever I need a color as a base or to blend something out, this is my go-to. I know a lot of people say for color their go-to is the Blend Bunny, the Blends palette. For me, it's this one, which I feel like they're pretty similar sizes, because I don't go for like pop bright neons really so much. I go for more colors like this. So for me, when I'm reaching for a palette for like a base or mattes to go with special shades or anything, it's this one. So I'd have to keep this one because I just really do incorporate it with so many of my looks. All right, from Nomad Cosmetics. This was the first palette I ever bought from them, and it's the one I would keep. Again, they've come out with so many amazing things, but I just love this one the most. This is their Tokyo Harajuku palette, and I just saw Vinyl Beauty do a video with this recently, and it made me remember how much I love this palette, because this row down here, these are such special shades. Like, here, you just have a look-see, shall you? They're so reflective and they're so unique. Like this, I don't know if you can see the shift in it, but it's yellow, but it's also pink. And this one's like purple, but pink. And then we have this one is purple, but more of a blue. This one's more of a greeny with the brown base. And then this one is pink, but with blue. Oh, they're just so nice. The only thing I wish were different about this is I wish that they weren't satins. I wish they were true mattes. So I just feel like the mattes are more pigmented when it comes to pastel than the satins on me personally. But this is the one. This is the one, and I think it was so smart of them to put grays instead of a black with the pastel. And let's be real, all of the little embossings are little cats. And I'm obsessed with cats. You can't stop me. I love cats. That's all I have to say about that. All right, two more from Adept Cosmetics. Now, I don't know. I don't have the Mnet New, and that one looks really good. So that one might take the place of this one. But I only have the Kodan, the Ninhydrin, and this one. I ordered the Heather Austin collab. That one too looks really good, but I wasn't quick enough to get the original order in, so I got the pre-order that's not going to come into the end of May. So be looking for that, but you'll probably forget about it and I'll remind you by the time it comes in. Let's be real, I'll probably forget about it by the time it comes in. Do you do that where you order stuff and it takes so long that later you're like, oh wow, I totally forgot that I even ordered this? Yeah, probably not great spending habits there, but anywho, the Plain Jane palette is the one I would keep. Now they have the Plain Jane remastered now, but I really like this one. I do. I think my favorite shade in this one is either AC18, which is like a purpley blue one. I really do like that one, or AC14, which is another purpley one, but these are really nice. Adept shimmers in general are just, again, just on another level formula-wise that you're not gonna get in the drugstore. You're not gonna really get from a Too Faced, from an Urban Decay. You're just not. They don't do that. This is, it's wonderful. You really need to try it. Whew, okay, are you still with me, people? It's been a journey, right? So our last brand is Oden's Eye, if I could only keep one. And you might think I'm gonna say the Hela palette because watch my videos on it if you don't know, it's great. However, no, that's actually not the one I would keep. There is another color story I like more from Oden's Eye. Same great quality. And that is the Annette collab. Giant Wolves. This packaging, I mean, the Hela palette packaging is just as amazing, but I just love this. I don't know what it is. I do like how small it is. It's much more compact. Let me show you a comparison. So here is the Hela, and here's this one. Now this one is 15 or 16 shades, and this one's only 12, but this is just so well curated. I don't feel like it's not enough. Let me get this plastic out of the way so you can see it. I haven't even filmed with this because you can't even get it anymore, so it's kind of like, why? But it's so great. And this Eternal shade, like, I know it's kind of bluey and who am I, but so good with this purple. It's more like pinky berry looking in person. I think it looks a little more purple on camera. The greens, can you see? Oh, my lights are really picking up on that shimmer well. Oh, I just really love this one, you guys. It's grungy, it's sparkly. You can go lighter, you can go deeper, darker with some of those mattes. And I love too, this one has like a texture to it. Like, I don't know, it's not matte, but it's like grippy, almost like sandpaper. I know that's a very weird description, but if you have this palette, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, it's not gonna like do like sandpaper does, but it's almost like abrasive, like something from like a paperback book or something like that is the best way I know how to describe it. It's just textured. And I really like the feeling of it. I don't know why. I'm a texture person. Not necessarily when it comes to foods that I eat, but like the feeling of textures, I really pay attention to, and it doesn't feel like this one. The inside of this one does not feel like this one does on the outside either. And I really, this is just my number one. So yeah, guys. Ooh, that was a long video. I have a lot of brands, a lot of palettes. Thanks so much if you stuck all the way to the end. Be curious to know if I picked anything that surprised you. Was there a brand that you thought I would pick something else? And feel free to do this with your own collection. Go through, because there are some of these with me that I was like, okay, this is the one I would keep and this is my favorite, but yet I haven't used it in so long. What's wrong with me? So it's a good way to delve back into your collection and see what you already have. Thanks so much again for watching all the way to the end, and I hope to see you back on the next one. Bye.